It's nice to see you all. It's wonderful to be back here. I can't imagine being anywhere else than here, right? Together, we need to be the light together. In this challenging world that we live in, it's so powerful for us to have this moment to be together, to connect, and to know a higher truth. So when I was looking for a little story to tell, I found a true story. This is not a joke, this is a true story. It's a transcript of an actual radio conversation of a US naval ship with Canadian authorities on the coast of Newfoundland in October 1995. So the Americans' message was to the Canadians, please divert your course 15 degrees to the north to avoid a collision. And the Canadians' response was, please, we recommend that you divert your course 15 degrees to the south to avoid a collision. And the Americans radioed back, this is the captain of the US Navy ship. I say again, divert your course. And the Canadians said, no, I say again, you divert your course. The Americans wrote back and said, this is the aircraft carrier USS Lincoln, the second largest ship in the United States Atlantic Fleet. 3 destroyers, 3 cruisers, numerous support vessels accompany us. I demand that you change your course 15 degrees north, or countermeasures will be undertaken to ensure the safety of this ship. And the Canadians replied, this is a lighthouse, you're gone. There's a lot in that story. And not just about the light. There's a lot of other things, and I won't go there, that's a whole other talk. But our theme is the light, and as Dennis said, today is a solar eclipse. We can't see it, but they're looking at it in New Zealand right now. And then tomorrow is the fall equinox. Today is also International Day of Peace, which is all about light. So we have a lot going on, and as someone said, Washington, there's so much going on today. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot going on in the world, and we're here to know a greater truth, to stand in a greater light, and not look and not put our energy out there, but we know a greater good is happening right here. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes. Good, thank you, thank you. So today, my topic is Be the Light. We're going to explore what it means to be that light, not just in meditation and prayer, but what about when you're at the grocery store? What about when you're at the post office? What about when you're talking with family members, as Dennis said? That the light is needed all the time. How do we do that? How do we embrace that and bring that to ourselves and our community? How do we bring that? So we know that we are one with spirit. We know that there's a divine flow moving in and through and as us. In his book, The Flow of Life, Eric Butterworth says, if there is one thing one needs more than anything else, it is light. Light in terms of insight into self, guidance along life's way, knowledge of the secrets of the universe, and wisdom to use the light and not abuse it. Which, by the way, if I can put in a plug, next month, I'll be here on the second Sunday, I will be doing a workshop on that book, Eric Butterworth's In the Flow of Life. So please mark your calendar. It's a book that I love, and there's so much good information in it. So what Butterworth is referring to, he's saying, it's not the external light, but we are one with that divine light. We are one with that, and it's to allow that to shine through us, allow that to us to be that presence. And then as we understand that, and we do our work around that, as we do our own prayer work, our own healing work, our own forgiveness work, that we allow that light to shine more brightly, that we become that presence in the world. We shift our energy in that way. And when we're more aware of that, sometimes there can be a fogginess. Anybody ever have a fogginess, a foggy day? That we can be that light, and that light can lift us out of it. So that's what we pay attention to, is that as we tap into the flow, we are guided. And what Butterworth says, he says, guidance is not a special act of God or a phenomenon dealing with an external force. It's the natural guidance that we live with. It comes from the heart. And that's when we talk about heart coherence. It's a natural guidance that we have. When we connect with the heart and tune into the heart, there's a heart coherence. And that's our guidance. It's not from the mind. The mind is very logical. The mind is good for fixing things, for driving the car, for figuring out the sound system. It's that logical mind. What we want to use is to nurture that heart energy, to allow that to guide us. That's our divine guidance. So as we become more aware of that, we're aware of spirit moving in and through and out us. And James O'Day in the Soul Awakening Prayer says, the light shining in your heart's core is knowledge, it's insight, it's wisdom, and love as one unified presence. And that's what we want to know, is that we are one unified presence. It's so easy to look at the world right now and see that there's division, that there's upset, that there's darkness in the world right now. There's a lot of stuff going on that is not for everyone's best interest. But what we're doing in here today is we're knowing that at the center there's light, that light is just for God. And so we're here to shine our light, to lift ourselves and everyone. Because when we do that, we lift it for all of humanity. So, when we get in touch with that light, if we make that connection, and then we're in the flow, we're in that divine flow. And do you ever think about someone and suddenly they call you? Mm-hmm. That's being in the flow. Do you ever wonder, how am I going to get this done? And then someone calls you with an answer, or you run into somebody and they say, oh, I have this for you. And it's exactly the thing you needed. That's being in the divine flow. There's a teacher I listen to, Sonia Choquette, and she says how she went into a bookstore and the book fell off the shelf that she needed to read. And that's really big. That's big. So we learn to live in that. We learn to trust that. So there's 3 qualities we're going to talk about today to be in the light. And the first one is peace, radiating peace. And that's the still light. So peace is more than just quietness or the absence of conflict. True peace is the inner stillness that comes from knowing our oneness with God. And Charles Fillmore says, peace is harmony and tranquility derived from the awareness of the Christ within. So peace is that place of knowing. Peace is knowing. And notice, he doesn't say peace comes from circumstances being perfect or people behaving exactly the way we want them to. Peace comes from our own awareness of the Christ within. So that's where we begin. And it's so easy in the world today to worry and to project what we think is going to happen. And in that place of peace, what we do is we know, we trust something greater is happening. We trust that this peace that we can feel here today is the peace that everyone can feel. That spark of divinity is within everyone. It may not be recognized, but it's already there. And the more we know that, the more we allow that to happen for everyone else. Anxiety and worry are at the highest levels, right? And worry can be exhausting, and it's not good for our well-being. But what we can do is to learn to trust the process, that there's something greater. I listen a lot to Marianne Williamson, and she talks a lot about for us to hold this light, to stand in this awareness, to not give up or give in, but to stand firm. And there is so much good happening, but it's not talked about. You have to search for it. So I searched for a couple stories for you. And one is in the city of Boston, they rebuilt the library there, the city library. And what they did is on the roof, the upper floors, they built housing for the homeless. So not only are there row houses on top of the library, so the homeless get to live there, but they get to walk downstairs and get a book. Imagine that. So that's something good that they're doing for the city. In the city of Pittsburgh, that there are 25,000 volunteers, and there's a group, an app called Food Rescue Heroes, something like that. And it's that these people will go and pick up leftover food, maybe from a restaurant or a grocery store that can't sell something because it doesn't look perfect, or it's about to be past its expiration. These volunteers go all over the city, they pick up these items and they take it to a center. And at this center, meals are prepared. And at 600 meals, over 600 meals a day were being made for people that are in need. And that was a year or so ago. Now this practice has replicated in at least 7 or 8 other cities. So there are good things happening all the time. And we know that it's that spark of divinity. When somebody has that spark, that idea of, I can do something good today. The idea of building houses on top of the library, collecting food to not go to waste. So not only does the food not go in the landfill, it's providing meals for those in need. And there's so many more stories. Search out those stories and pay attention to those. There are good things happening in the world. And we have to trust. Our job is to trust. And trust, not that we can control everything, because we can't. And so we have to let go. Sometimes we obsess about that. And I know we do that individually, right? We tend to control it. I was with my women's group yesterday, and somebody shared that she wasn't feeling good and she felt it was her fault, that she should have controlled it better. It's like, sometimes we can't control it. Things happen in the world, but to trust that I have what I need. I'll be guided to what I need for my highest good. So we learn to trust ourselves, we learn to trust others in the process. Trust replaces worry with faith. We deepen in our faith, and we shift the mindset from one of fear and doubt to one of hope and belief. And it frees us from that uncertainty. We can stay in trust because the world is uncertain right now. We don't know anything, but frankly, we didn't know that before. We have never known what was going to happen. That's okay, it's a good laugh. We never knew what was going to happen, but it seems more evident now. It seems more important now. But we've always been in uncertainty because the only thing we have is trust. But we can trust that something greater is happening. So having peace does not mean that we give up or give in. We still speak our truth, but we learn to speak out of love. Does that make sense? We learn to speak out of love. We're not speaking out of fear. So let's take a moment to experience peace right now. So everybody take a deep breath. The breath is a way of saying, peace is here, peace is who I am. Would you say that with me? Peace is here, peace is who I am. And so when we embody that, again, we don't embody it for ourselves, we embody it for everyone. And think about the sun. The sun doesn't struggle to shine. It doesn't ask for permission. It simply radiates. When we're in that presence of peace, we simply radiate. Let's say that one more time. Peace is here. Peace is who I am. And so when challenges arise, that we know that we're standing in the light of peace. So the second quality is power. And when we say power, we don't mean external power, because there is a lot of external power being thrown around. It's not the external power, it's the inner power, because that inner power is the power of love, the power of God. And Ernest Holmes reminds us, the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. And so true power is the freedom to live authentically as children of God, as children of the divine. Charles Fillmore said, power is man's innate control over his thoughts and feelings. So there's two ways to look at power. Power is knowing that it's the power, the presence of God that's moving through us, and the power that I can change my thinking, I can change my attitude, I can change how I see it. So that's our power. And it's not about changing the world first. We tend to want to go and fix things out there. It's changing over here. Because when we make those subtle changes, when we monitor our thoughts, when we speak with good intention, when we do our forgiveness work, we have the power, and we are making that change within. Author Sam Horn says we need to develop interpersonal situational awareness. And that's a big name, but what it means is be aware of our own emotions, our thoughts, and our behaviors. Because when we pay attention to those, we tend to respond rather than react, right? That when someone says something or there's an upset, rather than reacting, we can respond with curiosity, with love, and with peace. So the work is to love the one who pushes our buttons. The work is to love the ones who look like they're misbehaving in the world. The work is to stand in love in spite of what's happening. It's not to say that we accept it. We still stand and speak our word. We still stand and speak our truth. But we do it out of peace. We do it out of love. We do it out of our inner. Like we live life from the inside out. It's all an inside job, right? It's all an inside job. And so the third one, we did peace and power, and the third one is purpose. And that's the guiding light. Purpose is the guiding light of our lives. And each of us is here for a reason. We each carry a unique expression of spirit in the world. And Charles Fillmore says, you can do what you will with the power of the mind. That we have a purpose, that spirit's urge that moves through us. And whatever that is for you, for some of you, it's how you are called to serve in the world. Maybe you prepare food for others. Darcy's is obviously her voice, right? It's a beautiful voice and a power and a presence that she has with that music. That whatever it is for you, it might be serving others, it might be cooking, it might be knitting, it might be doing any number of teaching or speaking, it might be any number of things. That's the spirit's urge through you. That's our purpose. And ultimately, all of us have one purpose, and that's to be here to be the presence of God. And so when we know that, we live as that. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross wrote, people are like stained glass windows. They sparkle and shine when the sun is out. But when the darkness sets in, their true beauty is revealed only if there is light from within. So when we're shining that light from within, we can have a dark day, but we're still expressing light. We can have an upset, but there's still light around us. We're still beating that out. And ask yourself, where is Spirit calling me to shine to? Think about that and ask that in your morning prayer. What is mine to do? Who am I to serve? Where am I to shine? So today, to be the light is to live as peace, to radiate divine power, and to walk in purpose. Ernest Holmes said, light within me is the light of God. That light shines through me and illuminates every path we take. When we allow that light to shine through us, it illuminates wherever we're going and guides us whatever we're doing. And we know that that light is shining. It may not look like it right now, but that light is shining in the world. And just as I said, there are so many stories of good works being done. That light is shining. Focus on the good. Focus on the light. So let us affirm together. I am the light of peace.
I am the light of peace.
I am the light of power.
I am the light of power.
I am the light of purpose.
I am the light of purpose.
And I shine today and every day.
That shines today and every day.
Wonderful. Go be the light. Let's do a little meditation to take this all in together. So I invite you to go within, have your eyes down or close your eyes, take a breath. Breathe in peace. And as you breathe in peace, let go of any tension in your body. Allow yourself to settle in this moment. And right now, imagine that there's a soft light glowing at the center of your being, right in your heart. This light is peace. And as you breathe, feel that peace expanding in your heart. See it filling your chest. See it flowing through your whole body. Peace is not something you have to get. It's already here. It's already in you. Rest in that light. Now imagine this light in your heart begins to radiate outward, stronger and brighter. This is divine power, not control, but the radiant energy of spirit flowing through you. Feel that power rising within you. Feel that strength to choose love, to walk in freedom, to live courageously. Notice how the light grows with every breath. Now let this shine even brighter and farther, illuminating those around you. Allow that light to shine, to fill this room, to fill everyone in this room, to extend outside of this building, just extend in and through and as this community, in and through and as our city and our state and our country and the world. See this light. You are the light of God in expression. You are a blessing to the world. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, affirm to yourself, I am the light. I shine with peace. I radiate with power. I live.